What up? Today will be a little bit of a rant. I want to get serious here. Okay, this is completely gone to shit within the first few seconds, but Faceless, fucking awesome. And as I said before, and this will say in the title up there, this is a rant. Now, who you may ask? Well, there's a ton of great, shitty bands out there that I could easily rip apart like a fucking Cannibal Corpse song. But I decided today to go with one I know a lot of people fucking hate and fucking love. That is Suicide Silence. Now, you all know this name. This band is probably one of the first deathcore bands to ever come out, or to at least popularize the genre/term. They play a style of death metal which is dumbed down, simple at best, and at the same time very repetitive and very little diversity in the music. Now, there's been a ton of good bands that are labeled in this style that have actually moved on to make much more interesting music while they were labeled as this, such as Carnifex, the newer Whitechapel, the Red Chord. Those are all good bands that have, even though they were labeled this and had those characteristics, have gone on to make, and Job for a Cowboy, of course, who've gone on to make much more complex and entertaining forms of extreme metal. Suicide Silence is not one of those bands. They are perfectly fine stuck playing dull, heavy, down-tuned riffs over simple rhythmic patterns. The best way I could describe their guitar says breakdown. Now, that might sound good in theory, and in fact it actually kind of works on a few of their songs. A few, but the problem is that every single album/release they've had has had the same formula repeated over and over again. I know they tried to spice it up with a solo or a more complicated riff, but the problem is that this is such they are so comfortable playing this style of deathcore, extreme metal in general, that they don't expand on what could possibly be a really good guitarist and a really good drummer. Instead, they're just happy just playing the same breakdowns. Now, of course, then we get to the non-existent bass. Now, bass has always been a problem in metal, but at least be audible and follow maybe a little bit of a different pattern. I'm finding just the bass is extremely dull too, not in the mix. At least be heard. You are in the band after all. Do you not want to be heard? Another problem that also Major have, and I know a lot of people in the extreme metal community that respect bands like Nile, The Faceless, and even Job for a Cowboy, is the vocals. Now, growl to scream vocals have been in extreme metal forever. In fact, when they first started out, they were more of a higher scream. But these vocals are just forced. Definitely there's been some editing on the vocals and just complete garbage. And to people saying, oh, you've never seen their live show, they sound so much better live. I've seen them twice, unfortunately. In both times, it was dog shit. Now, are they entertaining to see live? Yes, but the problem is that the music is just so weak and just so dull and generic that there's nothing really to go looking for, even if it's just one song. As I said before, their vocalist, Mitch Luker, he's terrible at what he does. His screams are way too high. He sounds like somebody's like grabbing his balls, and he just really just doesn't sound good. His growls, even though they sound good, I know they could be better. If he's going to be doing this guttural shit, he needs to perfect the work, or at least get good at doing the very, very guttural growls. Another thing that's also annoying is his lyricalism. He, especially on No Time to Bleed and The Cleansing, his lyrics are very weak, especially on The Cleansing, which is just him ranting on about how he hates God. Yeah, that might have been, I don't know, a revolution back when, I don't know, the 80s, when Slayer came out, or even in death metal when Suffocation did it. But no, just nothing. This combined with the very very boring chug-filled guitars. The drummer needs to improve. I've seen him improve a little bit, but he's just another kind of low backing force. He really just doesn't do too much. Another problem I also have, this band is like where I see like seeing kids that are wearing Suicide Silence t-shirt. This band is supposed to be an extreme metal band, yet we're seeing these fucking scenesters who, like, you know, the bands Tack Attack, I Set My Friends on Fire, liking this type of music when, according to them, and I've seen them in interviews with their guitarists, they're wearing Suffocation and Cannibal Corpse shirts. Those are all extremely valuable bands to the extreme metal community, and this band wants to be extreme. I know they can try to be extreme and they want to be extreme, but when they're putting out generic, boring crap like this, it just shows that there's just really nothing really to go on with them wanting to join the ranks of Suffocation or Cannibal Corpse, and that they're more of these Hot Topic bands. I mean, you ever look at their singer, he looks like he came straight out of the scene. They have just a boring sound. Sure, cool, you've done the intro verse, slower intro, good, that's been done a million fucking times, especially in death metal. Another problem I have is just the anger, because I've seen in moments where they've expanded their musical just a little bit, even in Bludgeon Death. Even if it's simple, it's a fun song to listen to, and then they'll go right back into this boring just crap. If they just got rid of the breakdowns and focused more on writing riffs, interesting lyrics, memorable songs, they'd be a much better band. The song Fuck Everything, the lyrics are just terrible, the song is just terrible. I've seen where they've been able to make a more interesting riff, like in the beginning of You Only Live Once. Problem is, boom, breakdown comes in for another for another 5 minutes, and then it's just not 5 minutes, but the rest of the song, and it just gets boring and dull. Good, Only Live Once. Cool, there's a breakdown. Maybe I'll check out their other material. Maybe there's another breakdown. Breakdown, 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 breakdown. I could literally run off a fucking scroll about this big of Suicide Silence songs that just contain breakdowns. The lyrics, again, horrid most of the time. Sometimes he'll try to, like, with You Only Live Once, he's trying to make a positive thing, but it just doesn't work out. His vocals very weak. On songs on the Black Crown, like Slaves to Substance and Smash, the reason I thought those songs were okay, because there were other vocalists in the songs as far as the vocals go. You had Smash, which had Frank Mullen from fucking Suffocation, dude, representing the NY. You had Jonathan Davis from Korn doing Addiction, Witness the Addiction, or Addiction to Substance. And those were okay songs because the better vocals. Also, I felt like the band was doing more as far as musically to make it more interesting. Better guitar work, better drum work. But everything else after that, I was expecting the album on the Black Crown to maybe then pick up musically after No Time to Bleed, which was god fucking awful. And the problem is there's just nothing there. You see this band right here, The Faceless. You see, I like bands like The Faceless, Between the Buried and Me, and Cynic. You know why? They have creativity, willingness to explore different aspects of what they want musically from their career as a band, and what they want to do just with themselves and how they display their emotions both lyrically and in the instrumentals. This is not a band that does this. This is a band that's happy playing boring, generic, very uninspired extreme metal, as they call it. This is a band that really just doesn't try to aim high, which I know every single extreme metal band wants to aim high. They want to be that band in the scene that's making all the buzz, that's getting the critical acclaim, that's selling a good amount of records, that's selling out shows. Instead, they're just this band that's fallen into this category of just, we'll repeat the same thing over and over again, people will love it. We're not going to try to be more musically creative or interesting. Cynic, fuck The Faceless. Shit, another progressive metal band. Fuck the New Death. No, let's just stick here going. And it's a sad thing. I think I would see more from a band that has members that are willing, that want to make good music. The problem is they're so comfortable sticking with just one idea that they'll repeat it for almost their entire career in their albums and their music. And it's just, no, a bad mix of uninspired creativity, bad vocalist, and just no desire to move on with their musical career leaves this band just stale and pale. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. God, that felt good. Subscribe and comment. Peace.